Evil old gods, rituals, waiting for the stars. It's about as Tevinter as blood magic and hubris. Learning about the gods' plans is wonderful, of course. But the lists of magisters you got your hands on, now there's the real gold.
You've looked at it already. Of course you have.
Information on their backers, the ties to illegal slavery. Don't you see what this means?
This is power, May. Imagine becoming Archon and using this against those who've been hurting the people for years.
You? On the throne? Dorian.
Tell me that wouldn't be a splendid way to bring about real change.
Sounds like someone's got a plan.
Goodness, you make me sound absolutely nefarious. I love it. But yes, if the Venatori can scheme, so can we.
But how would you use this information exactly?
Dorian wants to use it to crush our enemies by whatever means necessary. I prefer to use it to rally the people. I say we make the information known. Allow the people to see the real justice served. Prove that from now on, we work for them.
We tried that already. Or have you forgotten the Lucerni? I no longer trust that political machine will work in our favor. No. We must get at the root of the problem before they can react. A more forceful approach. Destroy them and their networks utterly.
Swords and spies and blackmail? The devious means you learned in the South? If we go outside the system, we invite everyone else to do the same. No, we have to do this in the open. Show the people of Tevinter that we're here for them.
We're shadow dragons. It's right there in the name. You supported this because you knew the system didn't work for the people.
The point was to work in the shadows until we could work in the light. And Rook has brought us what we need.
May, the Imperium's politics burned you once and you still...
Enough. We're not the only ones who have a stake in this. Rook, you have been instrumental in all this. Which strategy do you prefer?
Shouldn't you be on the same side?
We are on the same side. We both know what Tevinter needs. How best to get it, that's the question.
If we went with Dorian's plan, I'd support it fully. But we won't, because he'll come around and realize that I'm right.
And I'd absolutely back you up on that, if you were right, which you aren't.
We'll see.
Will we?
What sort of change are you trying to achieve?
For a start, slavery. Abhorrent. It needs to go no more.
And Tevinter has been ruled by the Altus mages for all of its history. That must change. The Zoparati, non-mages, deserve a say in their own governance.
And all that's just the beginning of what will undoubtedly be a long journey.
Dorian, are you really suggesting violent revolution?
Not necessarily. Sometimes a mere threat of violence is sufficient.
He learned that from his friends in the South. I hear Ferelden settled a succession crisis with a duel.
It worked. Astoundingly.
We're not Ferelden.
I'm merely saying we need to consider bold and creative methods of achieving our ends. The game is rigged. Why play by rules crooked magisters already exploit? Clear the board and start over. If they're gone, we can fill the magisterium with those who respect the office. Then we'll actually see progress.
Maevaris, you really believe making this evidence public will work?
Dorian wants to work behind the scenes, but once again, it's the Magisters and Highbloods pulling the Imperium's strings. That doesn't inspire. It's a tactic used by our enemies. We need to show Tevinter that we can be different.
Unless they find some way to bury it? Or leverage their wealth, power, and status as they often have before?
Politics is a long game. If we use force against our enemies, our allies will remember it.
You want me to choose who will be Archon? But I'm not even from here. I can't decide.
Then talk to the ones who are. See what they say. Asher and Tarquin, Nev, Gallus, they're all a part of this, just as you are. We should all be comfortable with whatever course we take.
All right. I'll go do that.
Grand news about Lenos. One less crooked Templar in town.
Leno's got what he deserved.
Makes you smile, doesn't it? Drinks for everyone.
Leno's made my life miserable. Ron is too.
I hear he started out different. Maybe he once cared about something other than gold. But I didn't know that, Lenos. And I'm not going to mourn the one I did. Still, I'll thank the bastard for writing everything down. And delivering it to us all neat.
Dorian and Maevaris still have to decide what to do with everything we got from Lenos.
And they asked for my opinion. Can you believe it?
After all that talk about people needing a voice, I'd be looking at them sideways if they didn't.
I suspect this decision will determine Tevinter's path for years to come.
Then Dorian's way is my choice. He knows you don't stop to talk when you find a hole in the enemy's defenses.
Dorian is a brash rebel.
And Maevaris too much of a romantic.
I think the people will appreciate Maevaris returning as the leader they've always wanted to see.
No. They'll appreciate their lives actually changing for the better.
What do you think might happen, depending on who leads?
With May, she gets power back again. Gets one more shot at changing Tevinter from the top down. Worst that could happen is nothing. But that's what you risk when all you rely on is hope. But with Dorian...
We could get chaos, strife. Things might get harder before they get easier. If they get easier.
I'll take my chances.
This is not helping. At all.
If I'd known you wanted help, I wouldn't have said anything.
Quinn.
What? Opinions are cheap. Sometimes you just have to go where you go.
I have faith, Rook.
Still not helpful. So, what do you think?
Lenos is gone. We got information about the Venatori's plans, the god's ritual. I'd call that a good day.
I meant about Maevaris and Dorian. We all want change. Who will be more effective in getting it?
Oh, that. You're dragging me into it?
You're the famed detective. What's the right call?
This isn't a murder.
Politics is murder. Isn't that what they always say?
Maevaris Talani has been in this game for decades. She's dedicated and ruthless when she needs to be. Dorian Parvis is a wild card. Flashy and inventive, he'll keep his enemies on their toes. But if you're asking me, I'd go with Maevaris. She'll inspire people, show them that the Magisterium can be better than it is. Right now, after the gods and everything else, that's what this city needs. What we all need.
Thanks, Nev. That helps.
That's what I'm here for.
Maker. A full quarter of the Magisterium supporting a cult. Bending the knee to these risen old gods just for a taste of more power. Can they not see they're only tools for the gods? So they can destroy the world?
Demanding intelligence, rationality, and self-awareness from our peers. You ask too much, Maevaris.
Look at me. Such a fool.
Ah, it's Rook. You spoke with the others.
What do you think? Who should be leading the charge from here on?
What happens after it's decided who will lead?
Well, Lenos is gone, the cult's numbers are down, and they're scrambling to prepare for the god's ritual. They'll be distracted. It's a perfect opportunity to get our preparations in order.
All plans contingent on surviving the current disaster, of course.
Maevaris should lead.
I will not squander the opportunity. That is my promise to you all.
And May will have my full support, of course, for when enemies get in our way.
They will. It is Tevinter, after all.
The risen gods are still causing chaos. The people will need your voice to keep them fighting.
Oh, they will fight. This city has strength enough to stand against any so-called gods. We will win the day, and after that, we will win a brighter Tevinter for all of us.